So far, so good. Oh, I'm listening to. He's breaking this down.
Well, right? They don't get good education. They, shoot each other.
Yes.
There are all these sorts of things. And the reason why Sowell has been telling this story is because he's been trying to say, when liberals look at the people in ghettos, they say, racism. That's why they're not succeeding. And Sowell is saying, no, it's not. Because if you look at this group from the West Indies, they also came from the experience of slavery. There was slavery in the West Indies. They are also black, so they also face racism, and yet they do well. So it has to be something else. And that other thing is the fact that these black people who are in the South, there's always been a big question, were black people robbed of their culture, or did they preserve their authentic African culture? And what Sowell is saying is that they were robbed of their culture, and so they picked up the culture of the people around them, and the people around them were rednecks. And if you look at the white redneck...
What? Oh, this is deep, deep. What the...
culture and the black redneck culture, they have a lot of the same values. They don't particularly respect education.
Wait. Black redneck? That just sounds so crazy to hear. Black redneck?
Black redneck culture, they have a lot of the same values. They don't particularly respect education. They love Jesus. They use violence in their conflicts. And they, there's just, a lot of the same values and a lot of the same outcomes. And even Ebonics, which is, black English, is actually all from the west of England.
Yo.
So
oh, man. Ebonics. Now I'm talking about I'm finna go. Hey, what makes this funny is hearing this. Like, you got to do your research to present this in a way for someone who may not understand can understand, because a lot of times if you say this, people be lost. Ebonics, what is it? Yo, shout out to this brother for knowing Ebonics. Oh, that's crazy.
Even Ebonics, which is, black English, is actually all from the west of England. So it's actually this...
What?
It's from the west of England.
Look at Joe.
So, for example, if you go to places like Cornwall, there used to be this amazing ads on British TV, right, for this Devon custard or whatever, and they would always say, Devon knows how they make it so creamy, and they all talk like this, right? And so it doesn't sound like black English, but they do say things like, I be doing that, and we be doing this, and you be doing that, and they be doing that. And so there's that use of that copula be, right, where instead of saying I am, you are, he is, she is, they are, they just say I be, you be, we be, they be, which is the classic feature of black English, African American vernacular English. Right. Now.
I feel like Joe Rogan just listening. Oh, man. Again, you guys, these videos, I know a lot of times it's supposed to very, very, very good. And if they can hate, like it's not, I call everybody.
How do you think that Thomas Sowell has been received by liberal America? Not well.
Not well.
Not well. And so, for example, Sowell has a book called Black Rednecks, White Liberals. Okay? And his whole point is that, if you actually, and, again, like Sowell is, he researches the shit out of this stuff. He really does his work. Now, if you look at the experience of African Americans after slavery, they do really, they start to make real progress. Right? And a large part of the reason why they make progress is because you start to get a lot of people from New England, either, black people from New England or white people from New England, who come down and sort of reshape the culture. They create these schools and they're teaching those New England values, right? It's those Puritan values of hard work, tenacity, all of that sort of stuff. And so there's all this progress. And you have people like Booker T. Washington. And Booker T. Washington was an actual slave. And then after he got his freedom, he got to go work in a salt mine, which is literally the worst job ever. And in Booker T. Washington's Up From Slavery, he tells this great story about seeing a schoolhouse, right? And that, he thought that going into a schoolhouse was about as close to heaven on earth as you could get.